And hello to all my Capricorn friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for September 2023. Now today they've dialed up something extremely special and rare for my great Capricorns. We're going to be doing a relationship spread, and a relationship spread is something I am not asked to do very often, if ever. In fact, I went back in my notes and checked when is the last time that I did a relationship spread. It was November of last year. So it's almost been a full year. These don't come up very much. So what is a relationship spread? It is a dynamic between two people. One of them is you, and one of them is somebody else in your life, or somebody close to you, or maybe an entity like a job or a boss or something like that. So we're going to do two relationship spreads because basically three is too many and one is not enough. So it's kind of the Goldilocks, the sweet spot there with two relationship spreads. We're going to be doing that. They've also asked that I conclude your reading with an extra spread, and this is going to be in the form of a health scrub. Health scrub looks through the body physically, physical health, not spiritual, just straight physical stuff. We're going to be looking down the body 1 through 7, the 7 regions of the body, looking for stuff that is kicking good, looking for stuff that we can improve a little bit and get kicking better. That is what it's all about there. Also going to conclude your reading with the Rune Stone. We got a lot of newness all around us here. I had to make a list just so I made sure I didn't forget anything. We got the chemistry tracking coming toward the end of your reading. Look at the chemistry for your sign with other signs. We're going to do your extra spread, which of course is your health scrub, and we're going to be concluding with homily, which is a quick little spiritual pep talk done by yours truly. So we have a lot of stuff to get going with, Capricorn. Let's get started right now. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a whole bunch of time. Now I'm going to bring you into my overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what's going on. So here, these are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here with me now. And you are. So relationship spread, it's going to be two sides. You're going to be on my left. The other person is going to be on my right. So first I'm going to start with the middle. This is what is between the two sides. It's going to be this one right here. Now we're going to do your side, your factors, 1, 2, 3 over here. We're going to do the other person's factors, 1, 2, and 3. Now I may get off camera. I see that I already am a little bit here. Don't worry, I'm going to move the camera around so you can see everything at the end, but just for my initial card work, I just need to get it out and get it done. Now I'm going to check this separately from the other spread. So my inverts here are just 2. That's good distribution with everything else. We're going to leave it that way. I have a person here. Got to see if that they're talking about a king here as far as the man. They say no, but that card is going to stay. We have the Justice card, which is a major arcana card, also getting 2 cards to describe it. And I got another queen that pulled up, so I need to see what we're using person. They say no, that one will get discarded. That one's good. We're going to come with, in the middle, I'm just going to do an Angel Oracle card. Normally, since it isn't a huge major arcana card, I would do 2 to describe it, but for the sake of time, we're just going to do the Angel card, kind of cut to the chase there. I'm going to do an Angel card for each side as well. Go ahead and pull this here. This side is done now. Just kind of lay there over that card. Over here, we're going to pull 2 cards for the major arcana card of the wheel right there. And now I'm definitely off screen. I got the Prince card, which is a knight in other decks. See if that's a person. They say no. And there we go. So that part is done completely. Now let me do the second relationship spread. Try to make some room here, actually. Find a way to kind of make this go lateral to the best of my ability so you can see both. Let's do this. Move a bear a little bit. There we go. That should work. All right, so now we're coming down here. This is the second relationship situation. This is the middle, of course. Then we got your side, 1, 2, and 3. Then we got the other person's side, 1, 2, and 3. Their side is coming in completely blocked, and we have a lot of blockages just in general. So I'm going to do a discard to see if the Spirit wants to keep it that way. They say no, everything upright. That's going to give us a nice clean read on it, but everything needs to stay in the same position. That is very important in tarot. So again, with my middle position being a major arcana card, I am going to pull just 1 angel card for it. I'm not going to go further than that. Over here, I got 2 major arcana cards, going to need more cards, and I have a princess here, which is the page in other decks. They say not a person, though, so we're using energy definitions all around. In fact, this side of the right side here, the other person is done. Over here, I need more cards to describe the majors, which is, of course, going to take more room to do so. And now you can see why I'm only doing 2 of these and not 3. And then if we just did 1, it would just be, maybe a 5-minute reading. It's just not enough. Not enough substance for you guys. And let's see, we had one more person card pop up down here. We have a king that popped up. So I'm going to just check that, make sure that's a person or not. They say no. So we're using full energy definitions all across the board. All the card work is also done. Let me yank this off and show you, attempt to show you, because the table is very full of cards. So relationship story 1 is going to start with this in the middle. That is our middle break here between the sides. That's what's between you guys, and this is your side of the story. And this is their side of the story. Relationship spread number 2. This is what is in the middle between you guys. I'm sorry, that was supposed to be upright. Just glad I caught that, because the entire story was uprighted. So there we go. That's what's between you guys. And then again, this is your side if this is talking about you. And their side of the story, much shorter. Shorter, concise, and to the point, and completely clear. Let's get to work. Lots to talk about, lots to do. I'm looking ahead here to see what kind of moon cycle stuff I have involved in here, because we have, I'm going to do a very intricate moon cycle for you guys this month, since we haven't had a formal reading in a while. I'm going to go kind of overboard with it. So I'm looking at your new versus your old, to make sure I hit it right after we talk about the moon cycle, so it's fresh in your mind. Looks like I'm mostly just talking about number 2. So we're going to go in order. We're going to talk about story 1 first, relationship situation first. Now, what is between you guys? I'm actually going to start with your side, so you have a better idea if this is about you or not. Keep in mind there's 2 of them. So here we go. At the very beginning, they show social unrest. This is either doing too much fun, too much social, or not enough. Like if you're doing the opposite of that and you're just sitting in the house all the time being bored and you wish you had a little bit more excitement and adventure, this could be your side of the story here. This is in excess. So basically what they're saying, Spirit is calling for you to do here, is to find a way to balance this. We need to get a little equilibrium in here. Of course, you want to have social, but you don't want to have too much social. Okay, so this is emotionally kind of an issue for you here, whether you realize that it is or not. They want to bring that up. Now on your side, we have Lady Justice come in, which can be something legal. There can be some kind of legal ramifications or legal situation going on with you. Doesn't necessarily say it's good or bad, but if I had to choose between the 2, I'd say rather good, because it's uprighted, it's not blocked, it's not inverted, so we got that. The other definition of Lady Justice is that this karma is your own. This karma that you're dealing with the other person is your own karma. It is not anybody else's. It is yours alone to deal with. They show nurturing or needing to nurture the work corner for you quite a bit, okay? And you are looking at this, so you are very aware of what I'm talking about. So this is probably the point where you should understand, this sounds like me, or not. Is work a major part of your life where you need to put more into it than you have been? Maybe you've been neglecting something with work, or you need to do something else to improve your work situation, and maybe this thing is playing out the way it is partially because of that. The other thing they do show is hard work, though, so it's weird because it comes in as like it needs more nurturing, it needs more mothering. That's what the Queen is. It's the mother card. But it shows that there is hard work being had. So it's not like there's laziness. I don't think there's lack of ambition. I feel like, the work has been put in. And even if they're not talking about work specifically, and they're talking about work into the relationship with the other person, because keep in mind, a relationship, we all have relationships with everybody in our lives. Of course, not all of them are romantic. Some are. So keep that in mind too. So the next thing we show here is that where my king pops up, and this is not the person though. So they're talking about authority up here. They're saying that you really need to take firm grasp of your own mental capacity toward this, your own attitude, your own thoughts, the process by which you make decisions, all that kind of stuff. Now, what they show is that there is good news kind of right on the cusp of this here. Things are going to get very, very interesting for you very, very soon. Now, this is a break from the boredom, so this is a shift. And I don't know exactly when that's going to come, but we are reading for September, so I would guess this month. The next thing they show here is my Angel Oracle card for your side, talking about compassion. So it says specifically in the card to soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including you, including yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemies. Now, before I get to the middle, let me talk about this other side, this other person. The other person has had better luck than you have. They've, whether they're talking about finances, whether they're talking about work, career, family life, easier upbringing, whatever it is, they just got a better hand to play with. And it's just presented as good luck from Spirit. So they've just been in a pretty good spot with things. And There's a perspective shift though next, because we have kind of, it can be a work thing, but it's basically Spirit saying unlocalize this. So this person is either moving away or looking bigger picture. They're going kind of far away, where Spirit is saying they should be more like right in front of their face, looking at more surface level stuff, but maybe they're a dreamer, dreaming big, looking too far out, something like that. They do show that this person does have an inability to move beyond something emotionally, something that has a heart attachment to them, a heart pull, heart string going on there, a hesitancy to leave. They basically show them just sitting there, aware of this fact, but not necessarily doing anything about it. Next thing we show here is the Prince of Cups. Other decks, it's a Knight. So this is my action with love. Okay, so there is action on their part. It's action, but it feels like it's action that's empty, because the next card behind that is my Five of Pentacles, which means bankrupt, or basically abandonment, being left out in the cold. Maybe this person was that way. Maybe they went through something like that earlier in life, or maybe they were the perpetrator of leaving somebody else out in the cold. In fact, I'd probably guess that, since we started with good luck. Like, they had things kind of working in their favor most of the time here. But we have action going on here, so they're trying to do something, but it feels like it falls upon deaf ears. It's just not working, or something like that. And keep in mind, this, I don't know who I'm talking about here. I don't know, if they're talking about a coworker of yours, if they're talking about a friend of yours, your relationship partner, a mother, a son, who's to say? It's hard for me to tell. So keep the context open as I describe this. It's probably not going to be a perfect, 100% accuracy for you, because this is a general reading. We have a lot of great Capricorns tuning in. Of course, I love you all, but nothing beats a private personal reading, because there's no guesswork involved there. All your Capricorn friends are not in the bubble energy that we're dealing with today. So personal private readings are the way to go. Those are available on the website, scottsagent.com. A wide host, a variety of readings, from small all the way up to full service. A little bit of something for everybody there. Now this story ends very good for the other person. And like I said, it gets interesting for you too. So I don't know if there's some kind of way that this can work out between the two, or if there's maybe this is a situation that was partially broken, but it's going to get resolved or kind of pan out in the long run. But they show this person kind of like a trophy case card, putting a trophy on the case, successful energy, and taking great pride in something as well. So they, the story ends well, long story short. Now let's get to what was in between you guys. What's in the middle of these entities, these two people, one of which is likely you. We have the Strength card. So they're basically saying here that everybody here has all the tools. Whether they are aware of it or not, it doesn't matter, because all the tools are there. So everything is there in potential. And they basically are saying to launch, spread your wings. So they're saying don't hold back right now. Timing is good. Whether you feel like it is or not, the timing's actually good here. If you feel like this is your story, that is probably the strongest advice I can tell you, is you got to go for it. You're going to miss all the shots you don't take. Now let's get into your moon cycles, and we're going to come down and do relationship number 2, which relates directly to your new moon. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time, and the moons for September are starting to calm down. September, October, through the rest of 2023, the moon cycles are a little bit more solemn. However, you can still use this energy, the full and the new moon, to implement positive change into your life, because after all, the moon does have a gravitational lock on this planet of ours, and it's strong enough to pull the water of Earth towards space. The water bulges, and that's what the tides do, moving in and out. And after all, aren't we mostly water as well? You think it has an effect on us? Absolutely it does. So here's what's going on. Linear speaking, the first thing that hits as we enter September, we're still dealing with full moon energy from August. Now, this is the best time to get stuff out of your life. I want to focus more on the full moon later in the month, but as we enter the month early, that's when most people are checking out these videos. So I'm letting you know that right now, it's a good time to break habits, a good time to get stuff out of your life. People wrap up projects, anything that's got to go. That is the energy of the full moon here early in September. Now I want to focus on the new moon, because new moon September 14th, this is going to be significant just because I got something special to share about the new moon. I stumbled upon this a few months ago and I was waiting for the right time to do it. And this is the moon cycle where I'm going to share it. This is from a very gnostic text. I forget which one it was. It might have been the book of Adam and Eve, one of these books that was held back from the Bible, from the Pope. And very interesting things, because all these events happen during the new moon. This goes back to the flood story, which is not just in biblical texts, but it's in a bunch of different religious texts. New moon, that was when Noah was commanded to make the ark. Happened on a new moon. And he entered into the ark, also on a new moon. New moon is when the water stopped. Of course, these are not sequential new moons. It's not just one after another, but these events happened under a new moon. Here's another one. The tops of the mountains were first seen under a new moon. The earth, like the bottom, the lower levels of the earth, became visible from the floods going down under a new moon. And finally, Noah went forth from the ark under, you guessed it, a new moon. So you think new moon's relevant? Or what else are they trying to tell us in that book? I would say it's quite important. So the new moon, best time to bring things into your life. Start something new. Start a new diet. Go for a new job. Try to get something new going in the work corner. Something new in the love corner. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're trying to implement into your life, the new moon brings in the manifest. So it's the best time to pray. If you're a prayer, or if you like to just manifest things with just meditation or whatever it is that you do, this is the best time, middle of the month, guys. And we get back into that full moon energy, like I told you, late in September. This is the key for getting things out. I know we talked about it being early in the month, but it happens stronger for September late. In fact, it's the 29th. So the very last few days of September are incredibly strong for getting things out of your life. Something you got to sell, repurpose, finish up an old project, kick somebody out of your life, kick a bad habit. Doesn't matter what it is. That is full moon energy, guys. Use that to your benefit. And I also have a moon cycle cheat sheet that I always put on my website for you. It's there for free every single month. It's on my talking about page, stuff that I'm talking about. You can scroll down and see that moon cycle guide. It's a little visual aid just to help you understand how these energies move in and out. While you're there, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter as well. Give my newsletter people a couple great things every single year, usually in the terms of free readings and also great promo codes. It's just one email that I send out every single month, so that is a no-brainer. Follow the Facebook page as well. That's for contests and giveaways, all kinds of great stuff on the channel. And before I let you go, I want to tell you about the brand new service on the website. It is called Pet Connect. By popular demand, people wanting to check in on their pets, see how they're doing. A little bit of profound stuff can be had in this way. I made this product very, very affordable. I want to make it super friendly so that anybody can check this out. I know I get asked all the time about pets. Are they in heaven? Can we check in on them? All this kind of stuff. Is it even possible? The short answer is yes. It is a complicated situation, but it can be done, and to the point where I've made a product to just deliver that service to my great clients. And that is available, scottsagent.com, launching on Labor Day, guys. Labor Day is the day for that. And when you see that launch on there will be a video that goes with it that talks all about it, shows you the ins and outs and how it works. So check that out as well. The gemstones in the shop are still buy one, get one with the free charm. Any gemstone purchase in the shop will come with a free charm as well as a free little bag. It's kind of like a buy one, get three items for free, and that is running through the end of the year, so that's worth checking out as well, guys. Let's get back to your reading. Okay, Capricorn, I am back, and we are starting with relationship number 2. The first thing they talk about is a new journey. If you are on some kind of new journey, this could very well be your relationship situation. New journey usually comes with a conservative approach, though, so it's saying take it a little lightly because it's exciting and you can get kind of misguided or look at the beauty of something and kind of like not make the best decisions, like watching where you step, and you might fall off the cliff, proverbially speaking there. Now, the next thing we show here is the 10 of Wands on an invert, so they're saying you have a hard time learning from lessons, and this is pertaining to the relationship that we're talking about here. We'll come back to that probably in a bit. They do show that you're doing a really good job of balancing, despite the fact that it's been an imbalanced situation. You do a good juggling act there, Capricorn. Good job. Next thing we show beyond that is patience. So a lot of you here have been patient in this situation too. And you know what? That is a tough one to do. Patience is extremely hard to push and to exude and to kind of implement into your life. So more power to you. You're doing good there. But you don't want to be too patient. You don't want to be anybody's doormat and have them wipe their feet on your back. You know what I mean? So you got to be patient, but for how long can you be patient? Now we show here a new chapter not coming in right now. Okay, so timing is a little off here in 2, which is different from 1. 1, the timing was better. 2, the timing is off or not right with something here. Now they do show that it has to do partially with money on your end. We have money on a block, so that means money's not here. It's on a delay. It's coming later. But anyway, it's not here right now, maybe when you need it. Now, the next thing we have, which is tying you to the new moon, is your Ace of Swords. So this is actually the best thing that I can push for you to do without reading the rest of the story here that's involved is new ideas, new ways of looking at things, new inspiration, new manifestations, which is new moon energy, guys. So pay attention to that we just talked about, that new moon. It's going to be huge. They want you to think of new ideas, not old ones, because the old ones here only brought you the same old repetitious cycles. We got to break that cycle. Now let's talk about this other person, this other side. They show injury here. This other person feels a little beaten up, maybe. A little bit about beaten up about something, or they've been injured. It's a card of physical injury too, but I feel like somebody's kind of looking over this person's back. Some of you will know what I'm talking about there. We also have the Seven of Wands, which shows that this person is extremely defensive. They take a very defensive position. They get maybe offended very easily, so they kind of are guarded a little bit. Maybe not any of that is true, and maybe it's just their walls are extremely high. So it's just like, they just don't let anybody in. They shut everybody out because they're guarded. They're so guarded. Next thing we show here is the Princess of Swords, another deck. It's my page. It is saying here that there is a messenger coming through the air, which is basically an email, a text message, a phone call. This person likely to get in correspondence with you, or this entity. Maybe we're talking about a job. Who's to say? But that's probably coming early. That's probably coming early in September. They'll reach out, and like I said, it is correspondence through the air, through the illusionary, invisible space. Like an email, text message, or phone call. Good time to check those old emails too. Don't want anything getting lost in there. That's important. And this message can bring you into a very good patch here, Capricorn. That's why they don't want you to miss it. It's a very smoothing things out. Things are getting balanced. The medical part, whatever that has to do, maybe it's a job that has to do with medical, and that's why they keep telling me hurt and beaten up, and nurse type energy going on there too. So in a general reading, you got to really kind of look at the intricacies of what Spirit is trying to tell you specifically here. But we have things getting balanced and working in a good trajectory from this message. So don't miss the message. Now we go back to the middle. We go back to what is between these two, and it is doing things the correct way. It's also leading your people, taking care of your people. Makes me feel even more like nurse type stuff. But that would be, that would fall in line with dental assistant or anything else where you're taking care of clients, you're taking care of people, even real estate agents I'm hearing in my ear. So comfort. They want you to do what you feel comfortable with. It's making me feel like this is even more job situation like, guys, just being honest with you. Of course, different strokes for different folks, but in the comfort card, it says, I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So things are improving. They're basically, and they're showing a spotlight to your side. So they're saying, Spirit is saying, all the information is on your side that you need to step forward with this, to move forward with this in strength. Starting with the new ideas, getting out of the old cycles. The new journey is exciting, but let's play it a little bit safe. So there we go. Now we're going to get into the extra sections of your reading, guys. That concludes the first part, which is the relationship spreads. Always an interesting set there. I don't get to do them very much, so I always enjoy to do that. So here we go. I'm going to, let's see. Well, we're going to pull the Rune Stone actually while I'm still looking at these cards. They're already mixed up, but I'm going to give them one more swirl. And here we go with some Cappy Rune Stone. It's going to be this guy right here. And this makes sense for relationship story number 2 because this is the Rune Stone of Journey. Journey, my Journeyman card. We talked all about Journey with the conservative approach, the new and exciting in relationship 2. This is your journey. And they're also probably telling in relationship situation 1, 2, that is also a journey that you need to play it a little safe with, be a little conservative, and new things are a good time. And we have that new moon. That's very powerful, and I kind of did a focus on it, probably for a reason, because this new moon is going to be a big deal here for my great Cappy. So there's your Rune Stone, guys. Rune Stone is available as a personal, private reading as well on the website, scottsagent.com. Let's get into your chemistry tracking. Chemistry tracking is a spread I do ahead of time. Basically, I'm just going to go over the math and the numbers with you. Well, it's not really math. It's neither one. It's just chemistry. But the first thing that's coming up here is I'm going to go with weakness, okay? They show a weak connection, Capricorn to Taurus, your fellow Earth sign. Just not kicking real good between the two of you, okay? The puzzle piece isn't fitting. If this is you and somebody you're close to, just keep in mind that the relationship may be a little bit on a tough in the month of September. Not the greatest of connections. And this involves with other people too. Like I said, your boss, friend of yours. Doesn't have to be relationship partner. This is just chemistry in general, not just love, romantic chemistry. Keep that in mind. So we got Taurus coming in a little funky in the month of September. Of course, that energy is going to move away when we get October, more than likely. But let's talk about what is strong. What is strong for my Capricorns is actually Gemini. Capricorns and Gemini are extremely double thumbs up from Spirit. You guys are incredibly chemistry driven 100 going on here. I couldn't think of a better term for it. I feel like there is one, but I can't think of it. And anyway, it's just really good. Capricorn and Gemini, for whatever reason, are just very, very fluid in the month of September. So for those of you who are dating, you might want to keep an eye out for that. And the close ones in your life that are Geminis, it's just going to be a very, very nice camaraderie month between the two of you. So there we go with your chemistry tracking, always very interesting. Now I got to get into your extra spread, which is your health scrub. I used a lot of cards, so I need to reshuffle just to give Spirit the opportunity to reuse some of these cards if they want to describe your physical health in your body. We're going to do that 1 through 7. So I'm going to reshuffle, cut away while I do that so you don't get bored, and I'll be right back. Okay, Capricorn, I am back. The cards have been reshuffled. Again, a ritual cut it one final time, and we are running that health scrub. Now, I may speak about it in a different order, but at least when I pull the cards, I go top to bottom. So here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Blockages are good distribution. That gets left alone. I do have a couple people cards that I just need to make sure are not people, in case Spirit's talking about other people, like in your lives. Actually, we've got a lot of people cards. But as it turns out, none of them are being up. We got one. Spoke too soon. We have one that is talking about a person here. Everything else, not so much. That is all set. I just need an angel card in this spot, and we're ready to go, guys. I'm going to go top to bottom how I read it, too, because we're kind of focusing while we hit more toward the bottom. So let's go with number 1. Number 1, very top of the head. Okay, not much up here. So unless you're, getting in a motorcycle accident or bumping your head on something, it doesn't really apply to much. So number 1 usually applies to more of something that is just all around you, all over you, something that is in your body all over the place, something like blood, something like skin, hair, all that kind of stuff, freckles, skin grafts, skin cancer type things, like nerves, white blood cells, muscles. So it's something that's all over you, bones, or inside you, I guess. Very terrible description, but you can tell I'm not a doctor. I don't have to be to really read this card, but that's what we're talking about here with number 1. This is something that is all around you, permeating everywhere. And what they show here is it's actually coming in pretty good. So if you've been concerned about anything that fits that description, it's coming in as authoritative. So even if you have an issue there, I would say that you have the power to control it. So that's very good. So you're aware of what's going on, and they want you to keep a good perspective on this too. Don't feel like, I keep hearing like skin. That's why I mentioned skin a few times. I keep hearing skin here. So if this is something where you've had like a skin tag or something, or it was cancerous and you got it removed, and maybe another one popped up somewhere else, and you start thinking like, oh, is this going to be like a real big problem? Here, Spirit is letting you know that you just got to stay on top of this stuff. You got the power. And you got to keep a good mentality. If you don't, the opposite, you're going to draw in the opposite effect of what you're trying to do, which is to basically heal yourself. So we don't want any of that. So 1, besides that, is checking in good, guys. You have the power. Number 2, this is where we get into the more facial region here. This can represent a bunch of different things, from sinuses to ear, hearing, to your ears, to glandular a little bit in there. So this here is showing something unsuccessful here. It makes me feel on a small pace, though. So something like, getting sick, getting a cold, sinus, stuffages, runny nose, that kind of thing. It's saying unsuccessful here. So like I said, it feels minor, but it's letting you know that some of you will be having some issues here with your head, physically, in the month of September specifically. But since it's not a big deal, that's why I kind of attached it more to cold or like a germ. Next, we move down here. Now we get into number 3, which is more like dentistry. It can go from dentistry down to your neck, your vertebrates, upper neck, muscular, dental, like I said, all that kind of stuff pops into number 3 here. We have taking great authority, actually. Money authority. Some of you put money into some things here. That's a very interesting one. Maybe getting some Invisalign, getting some dental procedure done, something like that. We also have, this is I feel like this is cosmetic. That's why I kind of went that way, because they bring in my social card next. So, of course, this will not be for everybody. This is probably very specific, but there is some cosmetic dental stuff going on that some people are putting out some money to get, and it's it's looking very good. It feels like, you're going out and about and you're feeling good about yourself. So this is checking in good. And even if that's not you, maybe that is something you should consider because it's coming in for your reading. Keep in mind too that since this is a general reading, that the health scrub is available as a personal private product on the website scottsagent.com if you want to get more information on any of these, or if you just want to see what your own is without your Capricorn friends. We get into number 4, guys. This is heart and lungs, and it is coming in nurturing and defensive. So it's coming in good. That is the good news, but we need to keep it that way by being kind of aware of things that are going on. I feel like if there's anything that is problematic here, you're going to be aware of it beforehand, or the signs are going to be there, so it's not like anything is going to sneak up on you here. Okay, so coming in good there. So keep nurturing that, though. You don't want to stop. You want to keep working that, especially cardio. It's good for your heart and lungs. Next thing we have here as we move down, now we get into kind of upper stomach area. This can be more your toxicity organs, your purification organs, I guess I should say, and you can kind of get into a little bit of stomach stuff, but usually stomach is kind of my next one. So anyway, here, which is basically anything lower than the heart at this point, this comes in as another person. I have a person coming up here. So this is somebody who's not you that they want to talk about. So who do you know, who in your life is experiencing an issue right around here? They bring in a generation gap younger with my princess card. Doesn't mean it's necessarily a female. It could very well be, but this is a generation gap older or younger than you. Something like could be your son or daughter, or you could be the son or daughter. It could be your parent, okay, depending on age gaps. So that's what they show here, and they show kind of easy work here. Easy work. I feel like they just got to take it easy. It makes me feel a little bit hernia related, to be honest. So just maybe muscular there. So just take that easy for whoever that is. Maybe you can pass that on. Next up, we have the Temperance card for spot number 6. Spot number 6 is your lower stomach, more kind of your intestinal stuff, stomach to intestines, moving down through. Moving through the digestion. And they show an impatience here, so some of you maybe have some indigestion, some stomach issues that are nagging, they're annoying, something like that. And they bring in chakra clearing here, so they're letting you know spiritually that this is not a physical ailment. This is, your symptoms may be physical, but this is actually a spiritual root cause, and a chakra clearing can help you get this fixed. And this chakra is your orange chakra. It is your emotional center, so you can also be having some issues emotionally. Maybe you have high peaks, high lows emotionally. This all gets done from the chakra clearing. I do not have a guided meditation yet on the orange chakra down there, but there are a lot of free ones you can do. You can do a lot of color kind of meditations with the color orange and different things like that. So I hope you guys get that centered, straightened out. That is your biggest one that they want to talk about too, so it's very important for certain people. We conclude here with your number 7. This is the very base of the spine, pelvic region, sexual organs, that kind of thing. They show the 10 of Swords inverted. This is a card about this used to be a tied down area here for whatever reason, like I guess metaphorically, if not literal. And for whatever reason, we have more freedom and mobility going around here. So I don't know if that's movement of the joints around there. For some of you that may have felt stiff or something like that in this region. This can also be extremities. I should mention that too. Probably arms and legs and feet, and hands and toes and feet can come up here too. So it feels like more mobility, more freedom to move around or get around moving there is coming in very good there. Much better to be getting out of that energy than going into it. So there is your health scrub, guys. And the last thing that we're going to conclude with is called homily. I hope you guys enjoy that. It's a little spiritual pep talk to get you through your month empowered. Okay, guys, it is time for your homily, September 2023. The very first homily ever is being recorded right now. You are a part of history, guys. So the topic that I want to talk to you about today is a realization that I had at a water park last month, of all places. That's what kind of inspired me to tell you this story and kind of make this part of your extended reading. And I took my daughter on a small mini vacation to South Florida. That's kind of where this whole thing started. Went to a water park. It was very small, but very nice, very pleasurable. It had a little kids section, a couple larger slides for more of the adults. The kids love that too. And a lazy river, which of course everybody likes. And you know what a lazy river is more than likely. And if you don't, it's just a small little stream that current pushes you around, mostly in inner tubes. So this is where my story takes place that I wanted to share with you guys. I was going down the lazy river, and it was a small course. It maybe took you about 10-15 minutes to go around the whole thing. And they had some good water squirts that would happen. You know, sometimes it was like a waterfall where you just got penetrated by water, just that was like free falling. Other times it was pressurized, like more of like a squirt gun and like a spray, and just different kind of textures and varieties that you'd pass through and go under. And it was very nice. And I'd been through it a couple times, and my good friend took my daughter to go on the big slide. She wanted to go on the big slide, so I was in the lazy river by myself, and I'd already been around the course a couple times by this point, so I knew the course pretty well, at least I thought I did. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try something a little different here. I'm sitting on this inner tube going down a nice little current in a course. I decided to close my eyes and see what changed when I did so. Now, everything changed. First of all, your senses heighten. When you're looking like this, you're blindfolded, you know, your hearing, especially there, hearing was what's heightened the most for me. I was hearing that water coming way ahead of time, and I was apprehensive. I didn't know when it was coming. I just knew that it was. And I didn't know if I was going to be pushed into it or if I was going to be pushed around it, because there's kind of different ways you could go. And it just changes things when you don't see it. When you cannot see what's coming, it changes the way that your body reacts to it. It's just almost like a chemical reaction. You don't have a choice in the matter. It's just the way that it is. And it wasn't scary, but I could see for some people that it could be. And the only reason it wasn't scary is because I knew I was safe. If I was doing that like in an actual river, I would be a little scared, because I'd be wondering if that noise I'm hearing is actually like a waterfall or like a pretty big drop, or, you know, something dangerous was gonna happen to me. Of course, it was a controlled environment, so it wasn't scary, but you still had the stress. You still had the apprehension and the nerves very heightened. So the realization that I ended up having, basically the moral of this whole story, is that it reminded me of people who do not seek any kind of spiritual progress with their daily paths, their daily lives, tarot readings, a little bit of divination and forecasting, because that's what it does. It allows you to open your eyes to see the things that are coming. Most people are just driving blind. They're going through their entire lives like this. What I do, the ability to forecast and share my divination with you in this way, and with my personal private readings especially, you can look into all that stuff. You can see the things that are coming. You can plan and prepare a little bit for things. So it's not so scary. You don't have to be apprehensive about things. It gives you a calm, just knowing when things are coming and how you can align certain things to these occurrences that are in some ways going to come regardless. Sometimes you go around it. Sometimes you go through it. So that is your homily for September 23. Thank you so much for tuning into the readings. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have delivering it to you. I hope you have a great September. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.